All right, let's be real for a minute. You can't become the best version of yourself if you have bad habits and a negative belief system. We know what bad habits are, but what exactly is a negative belief system? To really understand how a negative belief system works, you have to understand the flip side. What's a positive belief system? So a positive belief system it's the belief in yourself. It's the belief that good things are always happening to you. It's the belief that you can achieve or accomplish anything that you want to in this world. It's the belief that the bad things in life, they happen for you and they don't happen to you, right? Because everything that happens to you, you can learn from it. There's always a lesson in the negative things that happen to us. As I've said before, we are the ones that put the definition on events that happen. Events just happen, and we are the ones that decide whether that event is negative or positive. Two people can go through the exact same event, and one views that event as negative, and one views that event as positive. So the one that views it as negative, more than likely, they're going through life saying like, man, I can't catch a break. Life, this always happens to me. Bad things always happen. And so they just have this victim mentality. Whereas on the flip side of that coin, if you have a positive belief system, it's like, what can I learn from this situation, right? It's just an event. One person can look at it negatively, one person can look at it positively and think, how can I grow from this? How can I become better from this? The positive belief system is the belief that no matter what happens, you're going to be okay. No matter what happens, I'm going to be okay. I'm either going to figure it out or it's just going to work itself out and everything's going to be okay. A positive belief system I like to think of too, it's like a belief system where you know that you're destined for success, that it's only a matter of time. And given a long enough amount of time, you're going to get there. And a negative belief system is just the opposite. It's that feeling of, I'm not good enough, things always happen to me, those sorts of beliefs. The negative belief system is like the belief of, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough. Success is just reserved for other people. Like people like me aren't destined for success. That's a negative belief system. And that's what holds a lot of people back. Or they have the belief that success is just luck. Like some people are just more lucky than they are. But I'm here to tell you that luck has nothing to do with this. Certainly there are certain things that line up perfectly that can create the sense of luck. But overall, it's mindset, it's habits, it's beliefs. And this brings us into one of the most transformative steps or keys of becoming the best self. Key number 6, aligning your habits and beliefs. If you're always thinking negatively, you're literally creating a mental barrier that's keeping you from growth and success. It's just a mental barrier that keeps you from becoming the best version of yourself. Because the best version of yourself doesn't think that way. The best version of yourself believes that you can accomplish anything in this world. The best version of yourself knows that things don't happen to you, they happen for you. The best version of yourself, it's constantly looking for the lessons in life so that you can grow and you can become better and you can help more people along their own journey. Any negative experiences that you grow through, they're there to facilitate your growth. They're not there to stop you. They're not there to hinder you. They're there so that you can learn the lessons that help you later on in life. Like it's very difficult whenever you're in that season of just shit going wrong. It's very difficult to see how you can benefit from any of this. But so often we go through these things and we learn these lessons, but we're not going to see the fruit of that for months or even years later, where we can look back in hindsight and said, oh, okay, now I see why I went through that, because I developed this mindset or this thought process that I wouldn't have gotten had I not gone through what I went through. You know, and that's kind of one of the tough parts in life is it's only in hindsight do we realize the lessons that we went through this to learn this lesson. But if you look back in your life, you've overcome everything. You've overcome every valley season. You've overcome every negative experience. And you're always going to, you learn the lessons within it and then you move forward and you've always been okay. Let's go back to habits. If you want to create a life that you're proud of, your habits need to reflect that. You've written down what you want in this life, but now you need to develop habits that support that. Let me tell you how to do that. Now, whatever you wrote down on that list, I'm sure that you know someone or you know of someone that is currently living the life that you aspire to. So let's say what you wrote down is you want to be fit and healthy. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to mirror the life and the habits of someone who's already fit and healthy. And I can pretty much guarantee you, someone that's fit and healthy, they go to the gym consistently. Even when they don't feel like it, they go to the gym. They've disciplined themselves to go to the gym despite how they feel. And they also probably follow a diet. They don't just eat whatever, whenever they want, just because it's around. They're probably very diligent on sticking to a diet and going to a gym. And it's all about sacrifice, because I'm sure that they would rather eat the Oreo, or they would rather skip the gym or drink the beer, or, whatever the case may be. But it requires sacrifice. Becoming the best version of yourself is going to require a large amount of sacrifice. This is what separates the great from the average. Greatness requires sacrifice. And the truth is, most people aren't willing to sacrifice their current comfort for what they ultimately want to become. So you found someone who has or is someone that you would want to model. So now you just discover what their habits were and follow the blueprint. They've already laid it out for you. What did they do to become or to have what they currently have? A lot of discipline, a lot of consistency, a lot of mindset change, belief in themselves. All of these things add up to help them to become the person that you're aspiring to be. It's all about those daily habits that stack up over time. Success doesn't come overnight. People don't just wake up in their dream life. And just as important is, you have to figure out what habits are holding you back. Like, what are you doing currently that's preventing you from growing into the person that you're destined to be? You have to take a real long, hard look at your life and decide, what am I doing currently that I need to stop doing? Do you have a habit of not keeping promises that you make to yourself? Like, you tell yourself, tomorrow I'm going to do this, and then you just don't do it? Do you have a habit of hitting the snooze button when you told yourself you were going to wake up? I know I've struggled with that. You just have to become conscious as you go through your day. Become conscious of, just look for things that you're doing unconsciously that are holding you back. An easy one to look at is this. Like, do you have certain habits or behaviors that you do each day that after you do it, you feel guilty about it or you feel ashamed? Because if that's the case, then those things definitely have to go. If you're trying to grow and become a better human being, anything that you do consistently that you feel guilty for or you feel ashamed about, you have got to rid those in your life automatically. That's got to be the first things to go. I use the word habit here, but it can easily be interchanged with addictions. The addictions and habits, bad habits and addictions are virtually the same thing. And you got to understand that life is more about subtraction than it is addition. Like, what do you need to subtract from your life to become the best version of yourself? It's not about just adding all this shit in. It's more about subtraction. Like, what do I need to stop doing in order to become the best version of myself? Because we do a lot of things that we just need to stop doing. And once we stop doing them, we create space that allows us to gain more knowledge or to gain more wisdom and to grow into the people that we're destined to be. But here's the thing, like, habits alone won't do it. You also have to change your belief system. You have to learn how to believe in yourself. You have to change your beliefs to ones of success, of abundance. You have to believe that you're capable of achieving anything that you want to. Just changing your habits isn't going to do anything if you still don't believe in yourself. If deep down you don't believe that you're capable, worthy, or deserving, you're self-sabotaging before you even start. So it's really time to ditch those beliefs like I'm not good enough or good things only happen to other people. Like, it's time to get rid of those and replace them with better thoughts, because those beliefs are bullshit, and you got to replace them with more empowering ones. Like, I am capable. I can achieve my dreams. I can do anything I set my mind to, because that's the truth. You just have to adopt it as your new belief system, which can be difficult at first, but when it finally clicks, it's very freeing. Like, you open up the door to this brand new life that you didn't know existed. Like, life's no longer shitting on you all the time, filling your mind with this negative belief system. And now you have these empowering thoughts where you believe in yourself and you believe you can accomplish anything, because that's the truth. You can accomplish anything. You can do anything that you want. And that's the whole purpose of all these videos, is to show you and to tell you Everything is possible. Another belief system that you need to understand is that life is going to continue giving you the same lessons over and over until you finally learn the lesson. If you keep running into the same obstacles and the same problems, it's not because you're cursed, it's because you're refusing to learn the lesson that life is trying to give you. And so once you learn the lesson that keeps on coming, then you can move on. Then you've grown, you've learned more, you've gained wisdom, you've gained knowledge, and now you can finally move on to the next problem that's inevitably going to pop up. But it's okay, because that's life. Life is a series of tests. Life is a series of lessons that are designed to help us grow. If you want to become patient, how do you become patient? You get put in situations where you have no choice but to practice patience. And that's the beauty of life. If you want to learn something, you're going to be tested in that area to help you consciously become the person that you want to become, to help you consciously learn the lesson that life is presenting. And you have to remember that growth is mostly going to come through discomfort. Like, we've all been through hard times, but we've always made it through. Every single time. I can't reiterate that enough. I keep repeating that, but it's true. We've all been through hard times. We've all made it through. We've all grown and learned lessons from those hard times. It's inevitable. That's life. That's the frequency of life. But it's okay. So often the frequency of life gets people so bogged down and thinks that everyone's out to get them. But in reality, it's what's helping them grow. It's what's helping them to become better people. But don't fear the tough moments. Like, embrace the tough moments, because that's what's going to show you who you really are. And again, you've always been okay, and you're always going to be okay in the end. And if it's not okay now, then it's just not the end. And one of the biggest upgrades that you can add into your life is gratitude. So gratitude basically puts off the energy and the vibration of abundance. Like, I am happy with everything that I have. Look at all these beautiful things that are in my life. And whenever you practice gratitude, what you're telling God or what you're telling the universe is, I'm thankful for everything that I have. And so what happens is if you're putting off that energy, that vibration of gratitude, of wholeness, of abundance, and what happens when you put that energy off, you get more things to be grateful for. And gratitude, it shifts your mindset from lack to abundance, right? You're telling the universe, I have enough. I'm so grateful for everything that I have, and more comes. It's just one of the laws of the universe. Another thing that has really helped me when I changed my belief system is I practice solitude or meditation. And if you're not really familiar with meditation, don't worry about it. But what you need to add into your life is just a system where you just go into a room alone, or on a walk, or on a drive, and just be in silence. Now, when you're in that silence, don't allow your thoughts to run rampant. Don't allow your thoughts to think about the past or worry about the future. Just be present in that moment. That's one of the big things, is just being present right now. Because the past has already happened. You can't change it. Nothing you can do could ever change the past. But so often we get stuck in the past, worrying about what happened or what was said or what was done to us. You can't change it. All that you have is right now. So what I always tell people is, when you're driving down the road, just drive down the road. Don't think about the past. Don't worry about the future. Can't change the past, and the future hasn't come yet. And so often we think about those two things, but we can do nothing about them. And we just worry about them, and we stress out or get anxious. Just drive the car. Just be present with what you're doing. If you're at dinner, just be at dinner. That's what you're doing. If you're washing the dishes, just wash the dishes. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about what someone said to you. Don't worry about the future. You can't do anything about those two things. All you have is right now. And once you start living in the present moment, once you start living in just the moment that you're in, life gets so much simpler. It gets so much more peaceful, because now there's nothing to think about. You're just washing dishes, right? You're just driving the car. You're just having a conversation with a friend, and you're in the present moment. And there is so much peace in the present moment. But we get so wrapped up because historically we're either worrying about what's going to happen, which, by the way, we make bigger than it is, or We're worried about the past, which, by the way, you can't change. So what are we doing? And that's why a lot of people who live in these peaceful states all the time, they're in the present moment. And then the next belief upgrade that you need, and one of the biggest things that hold us back from becoming the best version of ourselves, is fear. We procrastinate, we put off doing things, we make excuses, but it all boils down to fear. The reason you're not doing what you know you need to do is because you're scared to do it. You can, I better research this some more. Like, no, the research is done. You know all that you're going to know. Just do the thing that you know you need to do. Oh, I got to get this brand new notebook and this brand new pen so I can write down my goals or whatever. No, you don't. Get a freaking paper towel or a scrap piece of paper. You don't always need new things. What you're doing is you're procrastinating. You're putting off doing the thing that you know you need to do because you're scared to do it. That's one of the biggest lessons that I learned in my life is fear held me back so much. And I tell this story all the time. Two of my biggest fears was fear of rejection, fear of not being liked. Okay? So what did I do? I started a business where I had to cold call people to get leads. What happens when you cold call people? You get rejected and people don't like you. Now, when I first started doing this, I was terrified. Subconsciously terrified. My stomach was upset. I was sweating. My hands were all clammy. And I'm sitting in my house, in my office. Nothing's going to happen to me in my office. But I'm making these phone calls just freaking terrified of what's going to happen. I blew this up so much bigger. And then when I actually started doing it, I realized it wasn't even as bad as I had blown it up in my head. So I started doing things scared. I started doing things when I was uncomfortable. And that's how you grow, because what that did is it taught me a lot of different lessons. Now I'm confident enough to face my fears. I just walk scared. One of my favorite quotes that I've come across recently is the treasure you seek is in the cave that you're scared to enter. And the second one that the Hormozis have said is fear is an inch deep and a mile wide. It's an inch deep. So we think we blow this fear up so big, but it's really not. We're just scared to do it. We're just scared to walk, not realizing that the fear, that's the way to get over the fear, is doing the thing that you're scared of. And then it takes the fear away. And then you level up. You become stronger. You become more confident in your abilities to do the things that you're scared of doing. And now you're one step closer to becoming the best version of yourself. Once you realize that you're procrastinating or that you're scared of something, you do it and you realize it ain't that bad. And not only that, now you've leveled up. Now you're even stronger. Now you can take on more arduous tasks and overcome those too. But what you have to learn is you have to learn to have faith in the process. Doing things when you're scared, taking risks. But you have to have faith in the process. Faith that, okay, if I do this, I know that something good's going to come out of it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but ultimately something good is going to come out of me facing my fears, me trusting the process, me changing my belief system, me changing my habits. The good may not come tomorrow, but the good will ultimately come. That's just how life works. And a lot of time, the growth that we need, it's going to come from the challenges that we didn't ask for. We're just going to be put into these challenging situations, but those are what's going to grow us the most. Life is always working out for our greater good. Maybe not today, but eventually it's always going to work out for our greater good. You've got to understand that. You've got to believe that. You've got to have faith in that. And if you don't, and if you're doubting and you think all this is bullshit, that's a negative belief system that's keeping you pigeonholed to where you are currently. You're refusing to accept any new information that could potentially grow you. When you finally get your habits and your beliefs aligned, it's like flipping a switch on your life. suddenly you're drawn to doing the work. You're not forcing yourself to do it. You're doing it because you know that it's going to have a positive outcome on your life. And that's when you become unstoppable, because you're not just chasing goals, you're actually becoming the person that's aligned with the life that you want. You're becoming a new person. And it's work. Yeah, it's freaking work. Sometimes it sucks. But ultimately, it's going to have a beautiful outcome every single time. Every single time that you make the conscious decision to become a better person, it's going to have a beautiful outcome. But you've got to adopt the mindset that, yes, this is how life works. This is who I need to be. Because it's true, you can accomplish anything in the world. So just get started. Start small. Find one belief that you need to rewrite. Find one habit that you need to eradicate from your life. Start small. And look, give yourself grace. This is not an easy process. You're trying to undo decades of one way of living. You're trying to do decades of habitual thinking. You're trying to reprogram decades of thoughts, beliefs, and actions that are so ingrained in you that they've become a part of you. And so what happens then is you've become addicted to the habits. You've become addicted to the thoughts. And so when you try to change something, your body and your mind is going to fight like hell to keep you from changing. So that's why I say you need to have grace with yourself, because you may inevitably fall. You may inevitably pick that habit back up. But become conscious that when you do, this is no longer who I want to be anymore. So let me start again tomorrow. You know, if you want to stop drinking and you drink, start again tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. We're going to start again and fight like hell the next day to become the best version of yourself, to drop the habit, to drop the addiction, to drop the negative belief. Because again, it's going to fight like hell to stay. So it is a battle, but you can do it. You're stronger than you've ever proven to yourself. You've got everything that you need inside of you. You're more capable than you can even imagine, and you're more powerful than you've ever known. So now it's time to align all that and show the world who you really are and what you're really capable of. All right. So that's it for today. Thanks for spending some time with me. If you haven't, you got some value out of this, hit the thumbs up button, because we know with the algorithms and all that really helps like more people to get to this message. And don't forget to subscribe, so that way you can be up to date on any future videos. And if you know someone that could benefit from what we talked about today, go ahead and share it with them, because it might be the exact thing that they need to hear that's going to change their life. So until next time, take care, make good choices, and keep striving to be your best.